Hello, and welcome back to AI Ethics Docs. For centuries, humanity has dreamt of transcending its limits, of becoming something more, filling our myths with gods and heroes of impossible strength and enduring life. Today, that dream is no longer a myth. It is an imminent reality driven by the relentless march of future technology. We are now standing at the precipice of the age of the superhuman, where our mastery of biological engineering promises to fundamentally redesign humanity itself. But as we reach for this genetic perfection, we must ask, what are the hidden costs of such power? How will the other revolutionary technology of our time, artificial intelligence, shape this new, genetically divided world? Imagine a world where genetic engineering is mainstream, and we are not just talking about curing diseases, but about radical enhancements. The hypothetical superhumans in this narrative would be born with massive, almost unfair advantages over the rest of us. We are talking about IQ scores over 250, endurance that completely defies current records, and near-perfect aesthetics. Their potential would essentially be limited only by the laws of physics itself. These engineered individuals would dominate every sector: science, athletics, industry, and perhaps even longevity, living for 200, 500, or more years. They would be the ultimate products of future technology. The implication is perfectly clear. Genetically engineered humans would rapidly become the top performers in every field, shattering every single record in human history. They might even make world-changing scientific breakthroughs that our most super-intelligent AIs struggle to reach. But this brings us straight to the first great ethical challenge: profound societal division. The path to genetic perfection will not be cheap, and this immediately creates the emergence of new social classes and forms of discrimination. Access to the best genetic enhancements, the so-called designer baby options, will be highly correlated with family wealth. The genetically enhanced elite could be catapulted into the highest levels of society, rewarded with immense respect and opportunity. Meanwhile, the unenhanced, those whose parents chose not to modify genes due to ethical concerns, religious beliefs, or simply financial constraints, could find themselves in the lowest classes. They could become disenfranchised and marginalized, the victims of a severe genetic caste system. The irony here is deep. Even today's most privileged people could find themselves disadvantaged compared to a genetically optimized child of the future. This is not just a gap, it's a chasm that threatens to fracture the very idea of a shared humanity. We are also seeing a dangerous move away from individualism and diversity. If every parent selects for the same optimal traits, maximum intelligence, flawless health, perfect appearance, we risk homogenizing the human gene pool, potentially compromising our species' long-term adaptability to unforeseen diseases or environmental changes. Now, let's weave in the other great disruptor of our time: artificial intelligence. The narrative of the superhuman cannot be separated from AI, because AI is the engine driving this radical change. Historically, humanity has always feared its own creations. Just look at the history of robotics, dating back centuries. Our earliest robots were mechanical servants, but today's AI is a cognitive servant. This cognitive servant presents dangers far more subtle and pervasive than any machine made of gears and steel. The dark side of AI research focuses on critical issues we must confront today, such as algorithmic bias and discrimination, where systems trained on biased data perpetuate human prejudices. It also involves the profound ethical questions surrounding autonomous weapons. Consider the shadow organizations mentioned in the text, the corporate or military groups mass-producing superhumans. They would not simply rely on slow indoctrination. They would use brain-computer interfaces and advanced AI implants to instill unwavering loyalty and precise, obedient control. Here, future technology is weaponized to eliminate free will itself, creating the perfect loyal employee or the most efficient killing machine. So, given these dangerous future scenarios, the genetic caste system, the weaponized AI, what is our experience in fighting, preventing, and mitigating these severe ethical consequences? Our experience is built on 3 core pillars: proactive regulation, complete transparency, and universal education. First, we must establish a clear ethical red line. We need international agreements, much like the treaties we have for nuclear weapons, to ban certain practices, such as the creation of human-animal hybrids or the use of germline editing for non-therapeutic enhancements without stringent oversight. This is key to preventing shadow organizations from operating in regulatory vacuums. For AI, we must demand transparency and complete explainability. Developers need to document precisely how their algorithms make decisions, especially in areas that deeply affect human life, such as hiring, loan approvals, and sentencing. This required documentation is our primary defense against widespread algorithmic bias. Second, we must learn from history and value diversity. The push for a master race reminds us of the darkest chapters of human history. To combat the loss of diversity and individualism, we must actively champion the value of inherent, natural human variation. Third, we need to redirect the power of future technology towards true universal good. Instead of creating genetically enhanced superhumans for the elite, we should use gene editing to ensure that most diseases could be eliminated for everyone. This includes curing conditions like cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. This therapeutic benefit must be made universally accessible. That is the moral high ground. Finally, we must not dismiss the opposition groups. Their ethical concerns, whether they are religious or secular, must be the fuel that drives this necessary global debate. Our job at AI Ethics Docs is to move the public conversation past the simplistic good or bad viewpoint. We must engage in the nuances and gradations of this issue, demanding an informed and empathetic middle ground. The convergence of genetic engineering and AI is the ultimate expression of future technology. It's a force that could eventually lead to humans becoming a new species, diverging so substantially that they are simply unrelatable to us Homo sapiens. But the key lesson remains the same. Whether we are shaping the genome of the next generation or programming the algorithms that govern our world, the ultimate responsibility rests solely with us. We have the power to create a better world, one where the elimination of disease is prioritized over the creation of a genetic elite. We possess the experience to mitigate the risks of a super-intelligent AI and the wisdom to learn from history's most critical warnings. The future isn't just something that passively happens to us. It is something we actively build, one ethical choice at a time. Thank you for watching.